everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We're on to the divisional round now. 2 steps away from playing on the biggest stage in sports.
We are on the eastern side of downtown Minneapolis at the gorgeous new U.S. Bank Stadium. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. First carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Oh, he shifts past him. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards on the pickup. And it'll be a Dallas first down.
That type of run right there, that just fires me up when I watch it, because that's maybe the most underrated aspect of his game. The ability to break tackles and know where the first down chains are and pick them up.
He's tough, good pedigree. Dad Stacy was a linebacker at Missouri.
And how about Mom on the track team? So I think that's where the speed came from. And she's not shy about letting us know that, too.
Yeah, I got the best of both worlds. And they still need 8 yards for the first here on second down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on third.
Playing coverage here.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Surveying the field. And the ball is knocked out. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
They'll come out in the pistol. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And his first pass is incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play, because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking left sideline, it's complete. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Everything about that play was beautiful. A great corner route where the receiver worked the defensive back inside and then broke back to the outside to the corner. But how about the throw by the quarterback? Anticipation on the break from inside to outside. He threw the football. As the receiver turned around, the ball greeted him. And there was a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Give them 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain. 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. Back to throw here. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain.
The goal of every offense is to move the chains, pick up first downs. A nice job finding an open receiver for a completion.
Fresh set of downs here. Again, he'll drop to throw. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10.
Let's go!
They'll look to throw again. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
1 yard is the gain there. It'll bring up 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Now this will be the 9th play on this drive.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Back to throw again. And that is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. That's a tough one not to hang on to on 3rd and goal, but good job defensively to get there and jar it loose.
Agreed. That was really, really nicely done because there's no pass interference on the play. Timing excellent to get in there and knock it away. A win for the defense, and it brings up 4th down.
And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though? When they only gave up the field goal, and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved. Though if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Now back to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Well, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line. It's a sack.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down. Again, we'll see the pistol here. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be marked down deep in Dallas territory. That one goes for 36 yards.
We saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top. Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Watch tight. Tight end right. Tight end right. All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. That's caught at the 3. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And
he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough. intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Just 2 yards to go here on second down for the offense. On the counter, Elliott. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a third down. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. But his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed. So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They come out here in the eye. A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Again, it's Elliott. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Officially no gain. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's got his man on the comebacker. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Finding time. And this is incomplete. comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. One man in the backfield, Elliott. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's got time in the pocket. A dump off to Elliott. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
Yeah, as an offensive coordinator, if you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work. But in his defense, this has been a stifling defense so far. So they've got to start finding a way to unlock them as this game goes on.
And now out comes Minnesota. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And this is incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And for the 2nd time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
False start, offense.
Gun. They'll look to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They're going to look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
All right, here we go.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big play for the Vikings on 3rd down. And even 40 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. A little educational piece. I know a lot of people here 3-4, 4-3, etc. Take us through the 4-3, Charles.
Okay, 4-3. 4 down defensive linemen, usually 2 defensive tackles, 2 defensive ends. Behind them, the 3 those are the linebackers. The middle linebacker, often known as the Mike, with 2 outside linebackers, the Sam and the Will. There's your 4-3.
Sam on the strong side, Will on the weak side. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped, altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it, and now 4th down. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So that's 3 field goals for him now, but heck, he's not even halfway to his career best of 7.
Seems like the 7 field goal games are the kind of games I always get assigned to in my other job. Let's hope for this offense's sake they can start cashing in on a few of these drives.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
One man in the backfield, Elliott. And he'll get it up the middle. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Yeah, every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. He's got time. He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And taken right on the 30. Nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one who goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Play clock winding down. They'll look to throw here. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Let's go.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Over. Here we go now.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Left side, it's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. So we've come upon... Jeez, they don't even want to let their guys get a drink of water. All right, 3rd quarter. Let's get to it. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have the football. And will set up shop at the 33. Yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early.
False start, offense.
Offense needs something here on second down. It is second and long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Back to throw. Surveying the field. Looking left side, and it's complete. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. Partner, I think the easy thing now would be to just abandon the run and start throwing the football at all costs. But I've been in so many games where it doesn't work running the ball. It doesn't work running the ball. And then something pops, and now you get something going. I'm not so sure that just abandon your game plan this early in the second half.
Encroachment, defense. Still sideline.
They'll come out in the pistol. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And that is incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
And his kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off that lead.
And now you put the pressure on your defense, who didn't particularly play all that well in the first half. But they're going to need to step it up here and make some plays if these guys are going to have any chance.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. But still in search of the 1st down after that last completion.
Here we go now. 3 and out.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Hurry up, here we go.
Back to throw again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A big play there for Minnesota. 48 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out?
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Sean Robinson in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Marching back out there, ready for the next possession. Here comes the Vikings defense. And they did well down near the goal line last time, forcing him to settle for a short field goal.
And in today's day and age, settling for a field goal of that distance is amazing. You can get 3 points now, where it's going to give you only 1 point for the extra point, which will be a little bit longer. But they have to feel fantastic about only giving up 3 in that situation. It could have been so much worse.
Yeah, could have. Now can they carry that over?
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
They'll look to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. 1 man on the backfield, Elliott. And Charles, a couple extra defensive backs in here on 3rd and 1.
Not expecting them to run it at all.
They're going to look to throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. This is away, and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point kicker. Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Great play there off the end. Question, Charles, in a 4-3, you hear about the D tackles a lot. What's the role of the ends?
What they want to do is control the edges of the defense. And you always hear about an offense talking about setting the edge in the running game. Well, the defense wants to do exactly the same thing. And the defensive end, often against an offensive tackle, sometimes a tight end, they can't let themselves get hooked and let a running back get outside. Because if they do that, that hurts the integrity of the defense overall.
My man, the encyclopedia.
Here we go. Watch it now, Barney.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's brought down after a good game. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Second down, 8.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Now a handoff here to his running back. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Here's Colton Schmidt now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way.
It's a foot race. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. All right, now a big two-point conversion attempt still to come. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But
and now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And the play clock's running down. Back to throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And on third down, the Cowboys bringing an extra defensive back. He'll look to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Another pistol look here. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Time running out here on the play clock. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now third down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
He'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
He's got his man on the crossing route. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a third down and 2.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Now back to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
A solid pickup at 13 sets him up first and goal. He's played a great game and continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. The strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. A great read, and it's picked off. And a short return to the 6-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the fourth quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Another pistol look here. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
He'll drop to throw. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And what else could go wrong at this point? This is going to be a defensive touchdown as they keep piling it on. So a great play there by the defense. If these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will, this defense a big reason why.
And they love carrying the mantle for this team, don't they? You see the way that they move around out there? They want to lead this team deeper into the playoffs and hopefully onto the Super Bowl.
And that return for a touchdown certainly helps that cause. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. One man on the backfield, Elliott. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Throws a quick hitter on the slant, that's complete. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll look to throw again. Finding time. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And quickly they get to the line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Their big-bodied receiver from 4 yards out. And the Cowboys... They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then they don't come down with the football.
17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he has kept the defense.
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he's got his man on the out route. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Red zone opportunity. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by. But that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed them out quite a bit so far. But it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
And, Charles, in this situation, this is where the word miracle comes into play.
Have to score real fast, maybe throw a jump ball in the end zone and hope for the best.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first. But at least it's 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's got time in the pocket. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings are going to win this football game. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Now, hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside.
Let's go. 3-19.
They go down to a knee, and with that, they're off to the NFC title game. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. A lot of scoring. There's no...